Good morning, everyone.
Hi, Austin.
How are
Good
you?
morning.
Good. Where were you last week? I got on late. There was probably an announcement at the beginning of the meeting.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. You were late, and so I had to just get off the call. I was so disappointed that I left. No. I actually had inspections for a 6-unit apartment building that we opened escrow on actually the day before.
Great.
So yeah, that was a good one. So we're still in the thick of things. So it was good. It was good. Sorry that I missed the call. Good to see a lot of familiar faces here. Ben, how are you? Nice to see you. Mr. Balson, good to see you here as well. How are you?
Good, thanks. Yourself?
Good. Keeping busy, just managing the kids at home with school and breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Better you than me.
Well, yeah, well, maybe better my wife than me, but
I'm now an empty nester, so I feel guilty for telling you I don't have those issues, but one
No.
day you will be too.
this is true. So, are you getting a lot of tennis or golf in?
I am getting tennis in. I'm not a golfer.
Right, I remember. Yeah, so you're more tennis than anything. So you're getting some tennis in. That's great.
Yes.
Staying physically fit and just getting outside. It's beautiful.
Well, I guess 1 out of 2 ain't bad.
I get it. Trust me.
You know that I did back in just bragging back in 2009 or 10. I think I don't know if I shared this. My tennis partner when we won the club championship is the first vice gentleman right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Well, that's
So I can brag. I have a picture of Doug and I holding up the trophy, and I sent it to him on LinkedIn. But I guess after he gets a couple 100,000 other people talking to him, he didn't.
Sure. He
He
can't
didn't
find you.
respond. I asked him if I'm getting an invite to the White House to play tennis. So
Kamala Harris's husband.
that's correct, Doug
Yeah.
Emhoff.
Okay. Yep.
Hey, you never know. It
Claim
might
to
come
fame.
through.
It's a claim to fame.
Yeah. No, I
Michael,
get
how do you know him? I'm sorry, I came into that a touch.
Well, if you had showed up on time, Josh. No, just kidding.
I had 2 other agents in my
it.
office.
We gotta hold them responsible.
Yeah.
We gotta hold them
I'm
responsible.
only making a joke because before you showed up, Austin was referencing someone else that didn't show up on time. But anyway, he and I were club members at what was once called the Beverly Hills Country Club on Motor, and now it's called the Griffin Club. It's just a tennis. It's not really a country
Yeah,
club.
right south of 20th Century Fox.
No, it's down on National and Motor. It's
Oh, okay.
yeah, it's not far from Fox, but
Sure.
so he used to play 3-4 times a week like I did, and there was a doubles tournament, and he said, "Hey, you want to do it?" And we did, and it just turned out we won that year, and which doesn't mean much. Club tennis ratings are overblown. We're not pros or anything like that, but it was just fun.
That's cool. That's awesome. So you were pretty close then, I assume. I mean,
Yeah, I got some stories that I won't repeat on the air here.
right. And when this is how long ago, Michael?
About 2009 or 10, I think it was.
Okay. And when did they get married?
I lost touch with him. He left right after we won. He had like a tennis injury, and I even called him the next year and wanted to see if he wanted to re-up and play again. And he said he had a little tennis elbow or something, and he'd left the club. And then I really hadn't stayed in touch with him until I saw that he was on TV with Kamala Harris, and I said, "What the hell?" And I had no idea he married her, and
Wow.
and I still didn't really get in touch with him until after the election was over. I sent him a congratulatory picture. I mean, I sent him congratulations and then a picture of him and I holding the trophy with the tennis pros at the time. And I just asked if that means we're getting an invitation to play, if I'm getting an invitation to play tennis at the White House tennis courts. But
What did he say?
I said, or are you too busy? I didn't really get back. I guess, not having been in touch with him, plus him getting a couple 100,000 LinkedIn messages, he's kind of probably busy.
Yeah.
Hey, Michael, if you get that invitation, if you need a ball boy, I'll volunteer.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to hear back.
I hope you do. I mean, that's, it's interesting as you're saying that. I'm intrigued by that because,
Well, it's a small world kind of story, but
yeah, I mean, I'm always a bit, and like, I've heard nothing but good things about the guy. I don't know him, you do, but like, I don't know. And no matter how
yeah,
big he becomes,
he's a very bright guy. Obviously, lawyer.
Yep.
Was very successful. I knew him after he was already divorced and single, and I can say he had a really nice personality. I'm sure he still does, and was very friendly and had a great sense of humor and all that.
yeah, I mean, look, I'm a big believer. Never forget where you came from and who helped you get there. And in life, no matter how successful you become, and obviously I'm not at his, whatever, but, and I'm sure he's got a lot of people. I'm always trying to think about it from his perspective. A lot of people that have made similar, but you were
I didn't,
on a
I didn't
tennis
help
thing.
him
I mean,
get. I didn't
it's
help
not like
him
you're
get
some
to where
random
he is
guy.
at all.
Say that again.
I say I didn't help him get to where he is at all. We just happened to be, tennis partners and won that championship that year, and we were buddies for a couple of years before that, but that was about it.
Yeah, I mean, I meant that figuratively. My point being, you had a connection with him, and I would hope that at some point he gets back to you. I guess is ultimately what I'm trying to say. I mean,
Yeah, that would be.
It'd be
I
nice.
don't want to keep hounding him, or else I'll get on the FBI radar or something.
yeah, that's
But I
my
think
point. Go ahead.
for the presidential motorcade, maybe they'll be coming. You never know, and you can set up a tennis match, and
Yeah, that'd be great.
Austin can hand out the water, and I can do the man grooming. I can do the
Should I be
airbrush
worried
makeup.
if the
So
Secret
everybody
Service
wins.
comes knocking at my door? I don't know.
Very cool.
That's great.
All right.
Happy Tuesday to everybody.
Happy
Nice to see
Tuesday.
everybody.
Happy Tuesday.
Hope you guys enjoyed the Super Bowl on Sunday. If you are into that, it was kind of an interesting game. Not so fun, not so interesting, but
All right.
nonetheless, it's done. Another milestone passed. Can you believe that the middle of next month will be 1 year of this pandemic?
Yeah. Crazy.
Our lives have changed forever, and we're in this new reality right now, guys. So now more than ever before, just get ready, guys. We got to keep hitting the pavement and making things happen.
Agreed. Yep.
Welcome to the call. As usual, let's just go ahead and jump into it, guys. Michael, thanks for sharing that. It's a great way to just reconnect with people and not have it be business oriented. So appreciate that.
By the way, we're working on making a much more any concerted, focused effort to really tell the story around Keller Williams Beverly Hills commercial. So we're working on like some social media campaigns. We're going to do quite a bit of recognition amongst our top performers.
Right.
So we're really going to try to tell our story, for lack of a better way of saying it, more effectively. And also just know that there are a handful of pretty significant people that, I'm in conversations with. I looped Austin in quite a bit, and some of you others, to add to our commercial division. So we're very purposeful and aggressive about building it. And I just want to thank all of you guys. Per what I said before, never forget where you came from and who helped you get there. This is like the core foundation of something I think that's going to be quite a bit bigger, in years ahead.
Absolutely. And this will be another pitch or a reminder. If any of you commercial brokers partner up with a residential agent in the office, we'd love to hear about those success stories. And again, I have that gigantic check, and we'd love to go ahead and get a photo op with you and the agents with the check filled out and just get some more publicity around that. We've got some other efforts that Josh just alluded to. You'll see those coming up sooner than later.
And Austin, I just want to plant another seed as I'm just thinking this through. You and I should get, and you can lean on me to get a couple of the key people that are some of our top producers that are not here that often, if at all.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So we'll be reaching out to you guys individually. And again, we're really pushing forward. And if you have anything that you want to see from a social media standpoint or marketing standpoint for the division and for our office, by all means, Josh and I are open to the ideas. So shoot us an email or a text and let us know. Okay. Let's jump into it, guys. Market updates, things that you guys are seeing out there. I think everybody at this point knows that SB 91 did pass. Everything extended, eviction moratorium extended until the end of June, so June 30th of 2021. Will, you're kind of our go-to guy on this. Any further updates?
That's pretty much it. I don't have any updates from last week. I think we have to serve notices by the end of the month to all tenants that are in default about SB 91, informing them of their rights on how to apply for that. The main points are that it's 80% of median income or less. Priority goes to people who are at 50% or less on it. It basically is to cover it pretty much from the beginning of the pandemic till March 31st. 80% of any rent that is due or back due at this point, and get people current. And so that's the program. I don't have the mechanics on how to apply yet. We did get the forms from the apartment association. I can forward that to anybody that needs it. Actually, I will just forward it to Austin anyways, and he can distribute it to the group just in case you have a tenant that is in default. That way you can provide it to them. But other than that, just waiting to see guidance and what else, results of this from this point.
Yeah.
We did have a few more delinquencies this month in our portfolio. I think possibly
Yeah.
because of 91.
Yeah.
Maybe they're just trying to get the last couple months here for free. I don't know, but
Wow.
it's been a little bit more challenging this month because of it
Sure.
to be on our portfolio. But
Well, I forget, and I'm trying to look through my inbox right now. I feel like there was another mandatory disclosure that landlords had to provide to tenants with a deadline coming up, and I forget what the topic was. Do you recall anything like that?
that I believe was for SB 91. I can't think of it here.
Okay, that could be. And if I find it, I'll forward it to everybody as well.
Sounds good.
Good. Anybody else? Anybody else have market updates or interesting facts that you've come across in the last week or so?
Well, I think, Austin, that Beverly Hills has its own rules for renters outside of the Los Angeles rules.
Sure, absolutely. I would suspect so, though I don't know for a fact. Yeah, I would suspect so, right? So Beverly Hills, West Hollywood, Santa Monica, City of LA, unincorporated parts of LA. Look, we're all in it together now, and so I don't foresee the eviction moratorium being lifted anytime soon by any of these local municipalities. It's just going to continue forward.
Right.
Thanks, Allie. All right. If nobody else has any other market updates right this very second, what about needs and wants or haves and off markets? What are you guys working on? What do you guys need? What do you guys need assistance with? If we need to mastermind something, if you have an issue with a current deal or a client,
Let me kick off. Hello, everyone. Aaron.
please.
Let me kick off with what you asked for a few minutes ago, which was sharing some good referral opportunities that
Oh,
are coming
yes, please.
from the ranks. A couple of things have happened in the last couple of weeks. I heard from an agent in our office, Crystal Allen, who had a client that was looking for some help with search for cannabis space, cultivation space. And as we discussed it a little further, she said they're actually looking for this space in Oklahoma City. And wouldn't you know it, I did a deal in Oklahoma City about 10 years ago, 12 years ago, with a great agent out there. Tracked him down. He's still out there, still owns his own company, and I made the introduction. So
Great.
I rocked. That was just awesome for Crystal. I have no idea how things turned out, but this guy really understands. It's so important when you're dealing with remote markets that you have good folks locally, because the landscape, certainly with cannabis, is very different from state to state and county to county. So that was kind of fun.
That's
to be
great.
able
Keep us
to-
posted on that, Aaron. We really want to know the outcome of that. That'd be fantastic.
Aaron, may you share the name of the broker?
His name is Jerry Gamble.
Okay.
It's Gerald Gamble, realtors or real estate or something. If you're looking for the contact, reach out to me and I'll
No,
send you.
I actually have a family member out here that owns a property that's vacant out in Oklahoma. And I reached out to a broker out there to link them up. And I just wanted to see if it was somewhat of common ground.
Yeah. Well, I pretty exclusively, when I reach out to brokers, when I seek out brokers outside of the market, and this goes for those 12 years ago when I met Jerry, I'm a CCIM and I go to the CCIM network because there's just such a high level of trust and professionalism that I know that I'm getting. I mean, I understand that the cultures and the social mores and so forth in these different parts of the country are very different. So I'm not looking for someone that's going to be my best friend, but that CCIM is common ground, that they're professional and thorough and responsive and so forth. So, and by the way, that goes for any of you. If you've got a client that's looking out in another market, whatever, I'm happy to leverage my network and make introductions for you. The other person I wanted to share is I got a call from Michael Talega, another residential agent in the office, who introduced me. He had a friend from his days when he was in the bike industry, and actually Michael worked for Oakley, the sunglasses people, and he got to be friends with bike dealers because they were selling to the same stores. And this guy reached out to him, and he's now associated with an electric bike company that's headquartered in Shanghai, and they have stores and outlets around the world. And the closest one to here is in Seattle. And they've decided they wanted to do one in Southern California. And I made a connection with these folks. We toured last week, saw an amazing spot on Main Street in Santa Monica. And when they presented it to the president of the company, he liked it too and says, "Can we buy it?" So,
Even better.
So yeah, this is just getting better and better. So yay to Austin and to Josh. Just really, really appreciate these opportunities. It's a lot of fun.
Sure. That seems like it has some legs to it too. So definitely keep us posted on that. We would love to.
It has legs or it has wheels.
Right. Wheels, yeah, exactly. That's some wheels to it. That's great.
Mike's a great guy too, and so is Crystal. Great person. Yep.
Fantastic. That's great. Anything else, Aaron, that you're working on? Anything that we can help with, or that you're just wanting to share?
Well, no. I mean, if any of you would call a couple of my clients and get them, their feet out of the mud and making a decision, I'd appreciate that. Other than that,
what are you finding? Are landlords staying firm?
What a good guy.
Asking rents?
Rents are staying firm. When I go on CoStar and compare where rents are at, they're not dropping, but landlords more and more are showing flexibility. I mean, for instance, this building in Santa Monica on Main Street, we walked up and down Main Street. Main Street's still got a lot of foot traffic. It's still a great location in that market. It's kind of like the Melrose Avenue of Santa Monica. I mean, most of you know that, who are familiar with the West Side. And but I toured some spaces with a couple of brokers who kind of whispered in my ear, "Make an offer, please." So landlords will look at anything that isn't absolutely insulting. I mean, they're all looking to fill their spaces, to keep the lights on. And as I've said, as I've said over and over again, the front end, it's the commencement date of the lease, free rent, that first year's rent, those are really in play. Those are very, very flexible. But no, people aren't, making huge concessions yet.
Okay.
It's when the recession after COVID hits and people realize in some instances it's not going to be V-shaped, that they're going to get real and go, okay, we really need to do something.
Hey, what about the battle between Main Street and Montana? Montana used to be the it spot, and then Main Street picked up so much momentum. Are you still seeing Montana as a player in the?
Yeah, Montana's a different feel. Of course it's further north, so you get the fancy San Vicente, area residents shopping there. It's very popular for restaurants. And for high fashion. Main Street, Santa Monica, I would say Montana's a little more of a fashion street than Main Street. When, for instance, there are probably 5 bike stores on Main Street. There's none on Montana.
Right.
I mean, I don't know what you really draw from that.
No, you're right.
But
You're right.
they're two different fields, and it's really what you want to go for. You want to be a little closer to Sunset, and Brentwood. Then Montana Avenue is a little better bet than Main Street.
No, absolutely. And while we're talking about beach cities, I mean, another popular street, a little bit further south, Abbot Kinney, right? Abbot Kinney, phenomenal location. In fact, Christopher Rosen's on our call today. Nice to see you, Christopher. He owns a shop on Abbot Kinney. Chris, have you seen anything happening on Abbot Kinney? You seen vacancies increase? A lot of foot traffic still. What's going on?
Very little foot traffic. I mean, I live down here as well. So with regards to Main Street, there's lots of different conversations you can have about it. It's not as productive as it appears to be based on what I hear from the, owners of businesses there. Hence the constant vacancies on that street. The bike shops do very well. I'm actually very friendly with the guy that owns Bike Attack, who now has an electric bike shop as well. He does do very well. His old partner that has the bike shop still across the street from Earth Cafe does very well. Other than that, I know a lot of people who left Abbot Kinney when the prices got really high, went to Main Street because the rents were about half, but then they're doing half the amount of business. So how much money are you truly making? I think for certain services like the biking industry, for whatever the reason is, that street has always been able to be strong. Maybe that's because of the rents are a little bit lower than Abbot Kinney. The restaurants, obviously. Abbot Kinney has just always been a funny thing because the neighborhood, the locals, I mean, I have friends going back at this point 40 years that live a stone's throw from my store, but don't shop it because they don't really believe in supporting Abbot Kinney because it's gotten too commercial, but they'll go buy coffee from Blue Bottle.
Sure.
So it's a
What's your
very
story?
weird dynamic, but the restaurants seem to still do well. All the like clothing retailers were all complaining, and the landlords are not being so amicable with regards to the situation. Like my landlord still wants full rent, even though I'm not paying him full rent.
Yeah.
So I get an invoice every month with the backlog of rent that I haven't paid.
Sure.
Yeah.
And that doesn't weigh heavily on you at all, so that's fine.
No.
What store do you have down there, Chris?
It's called Guild. It's a woman's clothing and lifestyle store. We've been there, it's 11 years now.
Yeah.
And I've lived in Venice for 25 years.
Yeah.
So I've seen everything. I knew the change would come to the street, and I really had looked forward to it. It's just been an interesting dynamic to try to figure out the customer base, like with regards to women's fashion, where initially it was an older customer, then the older customer kind of went away and it became kind of the new people living in Venice, but just the moms wanting, very casual clothing, not really willing to pay a lot for it, even though they're living in a $3 to $4 million home. The kids are going to private schools, you got 2 Porsches in the garage, et cetera, et cetera. Now it's become more of a mix where the older customers come back a little bit. And this is across the board on clothing stores. I can't speak for the other retail stores, but across the board on clothing stores, it's become much more of a mix. But I feel based on the pandemic and where the pandemic is at now, because it's the older customers that have the money, those are the people that are most afraid to be out walking around. So we've seen in the last 2 months, our customer base age has gotten much younger. So now we're selling like a lot of like sweatpants and sweatshirts and t-shirts to, I'd say 25 to 35, where our core customer was, forever 35 to 55.
Mm-hmm.
So I just think, with retail, it's just a game. You got to pay attention, and you got to, I hate using the word pivot, but that's the one thing great about a retail store is you can constantly pivot based on what you see walking through your door.
Yes.
Again, I think for Aaron's customer looking at Main Street, why Patagonia ever left there is beyond me. I understand they opened the store in Santa Monica, so it just made it easier for them. And I remember talking to one of the guys that ran the store and still does. He would have preferred to keep both stores. That's how good the business was for Patagonia. Hence my friend's bike store and his ex-partner that has another bike store down there. But then things that didn't do well, there was an amazing homeware store that opened down there. They went into debt so fast. I had met the owner a couple years ago at a party. He could never understand it with the amount of the socioeconomic level of people living around there. It was one of the best homeware stores I'd ever been in, but he lasted a year and a half. So
Well,
I just think it's situational.
Yeah, I'm just going to add two quick comments. One is that the mistake a lot of retailers make, or novices anyway, is that they look at the trendy streets. They know about Abbot Kinney, they hear about the high rents, and they figure, well, you must get more sales or more traffic for that high rent. And I tell them, look, if you choose a high rent street, you've got to really understand, really have a good thought through reason why you need to be on that street, because sometimes you do need to be on that street and the rent's appropriate, but it's not like the higher the rent, the higher the traffic by any means.
Absolutely. That's the biggest misconception.
Yep.
Like a friend of mine opened a store across the street from us, and it's a big brand. It's a European company. I mean, it's probably 100 million euros at this point. But when he opened the store, he asked me what I thought. And I said, at that time, to come in commercial, and he was really one of the first big commercial type brands to come in. And again, they were from Europe. I said, I think you're a little early. And he's like, throws this Amex report in my face and says, do you see how many black cards are in 1,000 feet of here? I said, but did you run the charges? Because you can look back to see where the charges are being made. And he gave me a funny look and he said, no. He came back to me a week later. He said 90% of the charges are for coffee and food. So I said, well, there's your answer. Hence, he still opened the store, and it's been a losing business for them for, I think it's going on 8 years. But it works for him because it's lost, and he can, write that off on his books at the end of the year based on all his other business. But he's got a cool store in a cool neighborhood that gets a lot of attention, that on the flip side drives a lot of business to his website. So there's pros and cons, and you just have to be smart about it. Just got to be aware.
Thanks for your perspective, Christopher and Aaron. Let's move on. Just one quick interesting fact: Main Street, the Starbucks on Main Street, which has officially closed as of the end of last year, was the very first Starbucks in LA, but now it's gone. So just as an FYI.
Really, I used to live 2 blocks.
I did not know that. Really?
Yeah. Austin, I used to live 2 blocks from there, man. So,
really? Yeah. No, that the one with the brown awning, and it had the old Starbucks logo for 100 years. That was the very first Starbucks in Los Angeles.
I didn't know that.
And it's permanently now closed.
And they redid it, like, I guess they
Sure.
redid it like a few years ago too.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. No, it's look, a lot of businesses are closing because of the pandemic. That's what they're claiming right now. And that's like the second Starbucks in Santa Monica that's recently closed within this last year. So interesting times, guys. And maybe let's get back into our needs and wants and haves and off markets. Who else is out there that's got something that they need help with or they're working on?
So, hi all, this is David Divani.
Hey, David.
One thing that I brought up last week also, I have a client who is looking for an off-market office building in Valley area. And the reason that I say off-market is because everything that's on market, we've already seen. I've sent him everything that was on market. And his budget is around $7 million. He's an owner user, but if the owner of the property would provide some financing, his budget for purchasing can go up to $10 million. He's looking for a building that would be anywhere between 15,000 to 40,000 square feet. And he's looking in Valley area
David, when you say valley area, obviously that's pretty large. San Fernando Valley, gigantic, right? Are you looking Ventura Boulevard? Are you looking off of one of the other major streets?
His current office is on Ventura Boulevard that he's renting. So if it's on Ventura Boulevard, perfect. But I've shown him some office buildings in Van Nuys even, and he went and took a look. So I don't think if it's not on Ventura, it's going to disturb him much because he's a healthcare provider.
Sure.
And he only wants to occupy 51% of the building. He does not need to get the SBA loan, but in his mind, he is like, okay, I can basically finance and build this and buy this building on my own, but it's a cherry on top if I can also get the SBA loan. And if owner provides any financing, his goal is to, when he gets the SBA loan, he just pays off the financing that's been provided by the ownership.
Okay.
So if anything comes your way, please send it my way. And I also have
David, we're losing you a little.
David, we're losing you. Yeah, we can barely hear you now.
I'm sorry. Can you hear me now?
Better.
Yes.
Okay. It's probably my internet. Sorry about that. So I have another developer I have a developer actually that's looking very actively for a tear down in Beverly Hills. And he is looking for a lot that is 10,000 square feet or larger. Again, I've shown him everything that's on the market, but nothing has spiked in interest so far. We went and we saw a few. Basically, we went and dug a little more, and at the end of the day, none of those properties went through. So if you guys have anything that's off market, please let me know.
Sure. And David, this is another invitation. Definitely visit KWBH virtual.
I did. Last week when you mentioned that, Austin, I went on and I added the office building. I was going to also add this tear down, but I saw so many similar ones that have been there for a few months. So I hesitated to add this one in there.
Look, so you guys, the first part is to add the properties and add the wants and the needs to that list. The second part, guys, is to go visit that frequently to see what is out there and what people are looking for. Because if you happen to have it, that's how we connect. So you guys, two parts to that spreadsheet, right? Put on your needs and wants and your haves and your off markets, but then also revisit it and go through the list to see where you might be able to match up some deals.
Yeah,
so thank you, David.
Sure, absolutely. And when I was filling out that form for this office building, that's exactly what went through my mind, that some people might just come in here, fill out what they need, and then they disappear.
Yeah.
They're not ever going to know if something is on that list that might be a business for them.
Right.
If they don't revisit and they don't go back and take a look.
Yeah.
So that's a great point.
Yeah, the revisit is key. Thank you, David. Appreciate that.
So that's a residential development, I assume, David?
Yes. It's a residential development that he's looking for.
Okay.
One giant state house,
Yeah.
a big project that he wants to do.
And so, David, for that particular deal, you might be better served by going to the residential spreadsheet from the same.
I did.
Okay,
Yes.
good,
Yes.
good.
There's one more thing that I just want to put it out there for now, but I'll talk about it more later in the coming weeks. I have a listing in Venice, and as of right now, per owner's request, we are keeping it off market. We are not providing it to anybody, but it's for 38 units, residential, entitled. It's being entitled as of right now. I think within the next couple of months, it's going to be completed. And from there, when it's basically time, I'll share the information with you. So maybe we can basically do a deal together.
Yeah.
I already have the listing for it, but we're just waiting for the process of entitlement to be completed.
That's great. And due to the sensitive nature of that, David, maybe can you share the neighborhood?
Yes, it's in Mar Vista.
Okay. And existing structures on the land, or has it been? looked-
Right, as of right now, there's a very small
Should I auto
building
or bite?
there's a very small building on the property. But it's going to basically being entitled
של
for
הבית?
38
אני צריך
units
לבדוק.
and sell.
או, של האוטו יש
at a
יש.
Hold on one
developer
second, David. Hold
opportunity.
on. Hey, Jordan, you gotta
Jordan.
mute yourself.
Yeah.
Jordan,
Jordan.
mute.
אוקיי, הכל בסדר?
Jordan, we need you to mute.
הכל בסדר, כן.
מה, אתם ביחד?
Mute Jordan.
Alfredo, are you on? Can you mute him?
אנחנו ביחד, עכשיו כבר לא, אני באוטו והיא מחוץ
Here's today's
לאוטו,
lesson in Farsi, guys.
בסדר גמור, היא פרח.
That's not
יפה
Farsi,
מאוד.
Austin.
היא מתקשרת עכשיו, אבל אני עסוק, אז
That's
אני אחזור
Hebrew.
אליה.
You can,
אני-
you can
Hebrew,
mute him
guys.
if
You're right,
running
sorry.
a meeting.
You should be able to mute him. Just go to the
Okay,
mic
said
and
it.
just press mute. Just whoever's running the meeting.
Well, I know, and hey, Jordan, you gotta mute yourself, buddy.
There he is.
I apologize. I wanted to ask on that,
Now he's revived. Go ahead. Yeah.
is it LA zoning or for the Venice property? Excuse me for the.
No, it's LA. It's LA zoning.
And do you have a price direction on where they're thinking?
The owner as of right now thinking somewhere in the neighborhood of 5.5 million.
Okay, and it's not coastal, right?
No, it's not coastal. It's I would say a couple of miles away from the beach.
Okay, great. Okay, if you can share whenever you're ready.
Absolutely. I think
That's who Jordan was on the phone with, as a potential buyer for that.
No. Okay, great. All right. good.
so. I think in a month from now, I'll have more information to share with you guys. I just wanted to put it out there. So if you have somebody that you're dealing with, just stay tuned. And within a month or so, I should be able to share more information after owner basically give us permission to.
Not a problem. Thank you.
Thank
Absolutely.
you. All right, who's next?
Hi guys, good
Hi,
morning.
Ellie.
Hi, Ellie.
I sent information of you, Austin, for these people that I know. I gave them your phone number. They were looking to buy a warehouse. They own a production company. And for what I understood, they want to build a stage, I think.
Soundstage?
So I send them your information, and also I don't need information in case if they want to lease, but as of now, they are looking to buy. I just have the phone numbers if you guys want to write your email, so I can send them also. Would be
Yeah,
good.
maybe Gaylin has some. I'm looking at Gaylin, who's often got warehouse type of opportunities. I don't know if that was anything that maybe Gaylin has anything that could help them.
Okay, they are looking
Gaylin.
for in the valley.
Okay.
They go in different.
Galen, do you have anything up in the San Fernando Valley? Oh, Galen, do you have anything up in the valley?
Might have something off market, but I'm in like maybe, I think it was like 6,000, 7,000 square feet. I'll just, if you can communicate your requirements in the chat.
Yes, you can send. I don't know them. They're my boyfriend is building the house for them, so they're like the clients of my boyfriend. So I cannot really talk much with them, but I will tell him to call them. Okay, if you can
Ellie,
send
I'll
me your
send you
phone
Gaylin's
number.
info.
Okay.
Ellie, I'll send you Gaylin's info.
Okay.
She's in our.
Okay, thank you.
He's great. Yep.
Thanks, Josh. Thank you, Ellie. Thank you, Galen. Galen, do you have anything else you want to share?
Well, I might have some off market, like maybe 5 units up in Montclair. I've got maybe 10 units up in the LA area, but it's under rent control. So if anyone that serves their cup of tea.
What's the 10 unit?
10 units that I've got. It's like there are 4 that are 2 and 2s, like 2 bedroom, 2 bath. 6 units are 1 bedroom, 1 bath. Their gross income is $19,200. They're trying to sell for $3 million. That's all I know right now.
What's the location?
It's in LA. It's zip code 90017.
Okay.
And I can give you guys more scoop. If this interests you guys.
Sure. I mean, 19,200. That's 230,000 in annual
Yeah.
income. And what was the asking price you said?
3 mil.
3 mil. Yeah, I mean
Oh,
that's
What's going to be the cap rate on this one?
you guys would have to do the math there because
Yeah, I mean, look,
don't have expenses. I just have gross like numbers.
right, the gross income, that puts you at a 13 times multiplier. If you're using a 35% expense ratio, that gives you an NOI of 150,000. So it's just under a 5% cap rate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it could have some legs, right? I mean, if you have interest in that, Ben, you and Galen should definitely connect. Galen, I would again invite you to go to kwbhvirtual.com, post it up there.
I missed that deal. Any chance you could type it or reiterate? It's how many units?
Yeah, I can put in.
10 units, Jordan. 2 bedrooms, or I think 4 2 bedrooms.
Yeah, 4 2 plus 2, 6 1 bedrooms in 90017.
Okay.
Ask is 3 million. Gross income is 230,000.
I see.
Hey, Galen, and I have a client that's very interested in Montclair. We've been chasing stuff out there, duplexes,
I
triplexes.
was thinking about you, Will. I was like, I bet Will's intrigued. Go ahead. Sorry,
Yeah,
go ahead.
Up there when there was the fires showing that property actually, and we were chasing that thing. We couldn't get it, but he really wants Montclair. He's a doctor. I think there's like a Kaiser or something up there, and he wants to stay up there. Wants a property near there, and so if you can send me that, I'd appreciate it, Galen.
Yep. And thanks for your help, Will. Shout out to Will. He's been helping me on some other.
Oh, yeah, I just did you while we were chatting.
You're awesome. Thank you.
You have each other's contact info, right?
Yeah, we do. We've been communicating via email here today too. So.
Thanks.
Who else wants, needs?
I actually had a question.
Yes.
It's Christopher. I think it was 2 weeks ago, there was some mention of some properties, both land and commercial retail down in Orange County or San Diego County. Does anybody remember that? There was something near, like someone mentioned near the old Qualcomm Stadium or the Qualcomm Stadium.
Will, was that you? I do remember that. Who was?
Was it Patrick Shelley?
Yeah, I think you're right, Austin. He was
You're on today.
Yeah, what? Did you have some kind of land mixed use thing in Orange County or San Diego by Qualcomm or something?
Patrick, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I thought who was that? I definitely remember that too.
Okay. If anybody can figure it out, let me know. I have a contact down there that he's just open to looking at anything. He's a pure numbers guy. I had mentioned some stuff to him down there, and he said to send it his way. He works independently, but then also has a group of other investors that he works with.
Nice.
Austin, we'll have to brainstorm. It's going to drive me crazy because I do remember.
Yeah.
Sorry, Josh.
It wasn't Troy, right?
I can't remember. Whoever it was the land, the mixed use, and something else. And I believe it was San Diego County, if not Southern Orange County.
Yeah, I remember something like that too, because I asked about which stadium it was close to, I think. All right, we'll put
you did.
We'll put
Is that the old Charger Stadium?
Class 6.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that ringing a bell, Patrick?
Okay.
No, I mean, my friend, his family owns it. My friend and his family owns the Chargers, but that's the only connection I can think of.
Anyway.
Here, hold on real quick.
What'd you say?
Ben, you got to mute yourself, Ben. Ben. Or Alfredo, can you mute Ben?
It's a free for all today.
Ben, we need you muted.
Thank you.
Hey.
Now he does it.
All right, Christopher, we'll put our heads together and find it. And for everybody on this call, if you can jog your memories too, somebody a few weeks ago did talk about some land and mixed use opportunity in San Diego. We're trying to track that down. Patrick?
Yeah, I mean, anything down there would be good to put in front of this person. He's been very successful for a number of years, both also in big residential properties. I know he just sold a house in Laguna for I think over $11 million. So, and he builds, so he's a developer.
So is he looking to develop projects, or is he looking to acquire?
Both. It's from what I've learned with him, I've known him about a year, and I've gotten to know him pretty well. He's in that year. I've seen him do everything from buy residential, tear it down, start to rebuild, super luxury homes. I know he owns a bunch of commercial real estate with bigger box type renters like Starbucks, food companies, etc. And then he's also been buying land and developing the land.
Is he interested in like doing joint ventures with people, or is he primarily looking?
He can be very open to it.
Okay, yeah, let's get in touch then, because I have quite a few people who do a lot of the stuff that you just mentioned, so might be some good opportunities there.
Okay,
Chris,
that would be awesome.
Number.
Good.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Christopher, is he only interested in Orange County and San Diego area, or is he open to other parts?
No, I mean, it's funny. I spoke to him about that last night because he was living in LA over the summer and then moved back down to the Laguna area just before the holidays. He was asking me about LA and if I thought that prices were kind of flattening or even coming down a little bit, because what he's seeing is a lot of people are pulling from LA and coming to Orange County. So if the right deal presented itself in LA, he would definitely look at it, but he would like to stay more in his backyard at the moment, but he would be open to looking.
Would you put your contact info in the chat, please?
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Great. Thanks for sharing, Christopher.
I also still have that Las Vegas property, 80 acres on the Strip, zoned H1 for resorts, casinos, retail, hotels, 200 million. And right now there's a business on it that's generating 8 million annually. So I've still got that off market.
Fantastic. Thank you for sharing that.
Samantha, can you send me this is David Divani. We've spoke before regarding other projects. Would it be possible for you to send me that deal? I might have somebody who might be interested to take a look.
Absolutely, David, I will.
Thank you.
Yeah, go ahead.
I have a couple of things to share. I have two brand new multi-units coming soon. One of them is a 4-unit in Koreatown. It's opportunity zone as well. Asking price is 2.8. Also, I have a duplex coming, brand new duplex in Inglewood. And asking price for that one is going to be 1.6 million.
What's that look like, Kev? Again, duplexes in Inglewood are 1.6 million.
Yeah, that's bonkers.
Well, it's a brand new duplex. The date of the completion is probably about a month away. We're going to be getting the certification of occupancy by then. So the rental income, projected rental in that duplex for each unit is between 4,500 to 5,000 per unit.
What's the unit mix?
4 bedroom, 4 baths, and each unit is about 1,900 square foot. So we're talking about total of 3,800 square foot.
What's the address, Kevin, if you can? Sure.
Sure, yeah. Address. 1 second.
Sure.
Sorry.
You guys, Inglewood is a crazy market. I've been doing a lot of business down there since 2013.
I tell you, I yesterday I did a drive-by, and it's literally about 4 to 5 minutes away from the stadium, the new stadium. The address is 10405 South Truro, Truro Avenue.
Okay. Yeah, you guys, Inglewood is super hot. Patrick mentioned that he's friends with the owners of the Chargers. Stan Kroenke, the owner of the Rams, built the SoFi Stadium, which is operational. They're playing football games there right now. Obviously without any fans. That's a $5 billion stadium, the most expensive, the most technologically advanced football stadium in the country, if not the world. Jerry Jones and the Cowboys had a lot to do with that as well. Don't forget the Clippers are also now about to build a sports arena for the Clippers to move down there. The Expo line is connecting from Exposition and Crenshaw coming down Crenshaw, 2 stops in the middle of Inglewood. Downtown Inglewood is seeing a gigantic revitalization. There's a lot of stuff going on down there. So
and one more thing to add about Inglewood is Hollywood Casino is also building a hotel right next to it.
Absolutely.
So there is a lot going on over there. I drove by the stadium. It looks amazing. So, I mean, I was very amazed by how it looked like so far. But,
yeah, my mother-in-law lives like a few blocks, and then it's like I haven't been there in forever because of the pandemic. It's like I need to go check it out.
We'll hop in a car. I'll give you a tour. I mean, it's amazing. The old Hollywood Park racetrack, which is 240 acres, is just south of the Forum, right? So the Forum was purchased by Madison Square Garden in 2012, 13, something like that. They put 125 million into rehabbing that, became one of the country's and one of LA's top concert venues. Then the Stockbridge Capital Group bought the Hollywood Park, 240 acres. In between was 60 acres owned by the Walmart family. And Stan Kroenke married into the Walmart family. He purchased that land and then eventually partnered up with Stockbridge Capital to build this stadium. The rest of the Hollywood Park development is going to house the NFL Network's worldwide headquarters. There are plans for 2,500 other single-family homes, condos, townhomes, and apartments, 3-acre Central Park, 300-room high-rise hotel, 1 million square feet of retail, 500,000 of office. It's going to be Americana on steroids.
Yep.
And MGM is building a hotel across the street from Hollywood Park.
Wow. And it just made me remember, like, when that guy presented, Austin, of like Paul approaching them to be like the exclusive salespeople for that development. I had a note to myself and I just forgot to mention it to Paul. And I think, you know, with the Forward Living Group, there's a very compelling
Sure. Absolutely. And you know, we should brainstorm too, because I used to work with the mayor's daughter in a former life, Jim Butts. I've met him a few times, and I know a few of the city councilmen down there too. I was also a member of the Chamber of Commerce in Inglewood, and they have some inside tracks on that too. So you and I should.
Okay. Yeah. I'm making a note to myself right now. Yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
I also have a buyer's need. As usual, we're looking for lots, RD 1.5 or R3s that we can build 4 units on it, 3 to 4 units. And I also have a client who's looking for any type of assets on high income area, West LA in Los Angeles, West LA, Beverly Hills, Santa Monica, just high income areas. It doesn't matter what type of asset it is, as long as it has a future projected income of 5% plus cap, up to 20 million.
Back to your development clients. I know that's a constant search for you and a constant need. R 1.5 to 3, and what's the minimum lot size again for you?
On an R3, we can go as small as 5,000 square foot, and on a RD 1.5, could be 5,500 to 6,000. 5,500 would be a minimum lot size.
Yeah, and you guys, when Kevin says this, I mean, I've known Kevin for 3 years, and he constantly has this flow of this need, and his clients continue to buy and develop, and they pump them out pretty quickly, and they do great work. I've seen some of the finished products, so make sure you always keep Kevin in mind on with something like that. Did you ever make any headway with that Facebook post that I pinged you on?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good property. It's just the location is way down on the north side of the valley. So, but we were not able to make any offers on it.
Okay, good. Thanks for sharing. Anything else?
The rental market is not as strong as, few blocks up. from the street.
Sure. No, thank you.
Thank you.
Please put your contact info in the chat.
I'll go ahead and do that right now.
Thank you so much.
Sure.
Perfect. Thank you.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Jimmy.
Hey, Jimmy.
I've got a buyer need that I've still been working on. Looking for Los Angeles County. He's a commercial investor. Actually specializes in the hospitality. His team owns a couple of motels and hotels. So they've been looking for 25 to 30 units, budget of up to 3 to 4 million, depending on the deal. Looking for a minimum of 35,000 square feet. I've been in constant contact with him probably every other day. So I do feel like this definitely has legs under it. Just need to find something to sell him.
Sure. So at 35 units, I mean, you know, that's a smaller property. He's open to anywhere in LA or specific areas?
That's right. As long as it's within Los Angeles County.
Okay. Definitely, Jimmy, go to kwbhvirtual.com and add that need. Okay.
Will, do any of those things that you brought up in the past fit that at all, or?
Sorry, zoned out.
Did you hear what Jimmy said?
Sorry, I was doing.
We'll forgive you. 35 unit hotel. And so, Jimmy, do you want to just give a quick recap?
Yep. Looking at anywhere from 25 to 35 units, 35,000 square feet minimum, 4 million budget in the LA County.
I'm actually looking for something similar myself, and I've got a contact for a hotel broker. I'll send you that as well. I'll send that to you. Send it over to you, Jimmy. I'll text it over to you.
That sounds great. Thank you.
Thanks for sharing, Jamie. Thanks for the help and the assist, Will. Hey, Hugh, real quick, are you still looking for car washes?
Yep, yes, I am.
I was driving the Valley, North Valley, Reseda and Satakoy-ish. I was driving by so quickly, didn't really pay attention. It was, or it is, an existing car wash. I'm not sure if they're rehabbing or if it just went dark, but do a quick Google Maps search, Victory and Reseda, or yeah, Victory and Reseda, I think.
Oh, Victory and Reseda, okay.
Yeah, sorry. Definitely on
Cool.
Reseda. It's either Victory or Satakoy.
Okay, cool.
What budget are you looking?
I mean, it's more about the size. It just needs to be an acre to an acre and a half to build. If there's an existing structure, they probably do a heavy remodel. If they can do ground up, that's fine as well for the tunnel. Yeah, it's more about how large it is, and they'd like it in the nicer areas if possible. So we'll see if that's too far north, but worth a shot.
How about North Hollywood?
What part of North Hollywood?
Burbank and Lancashire.
That's probably okay. Yeah.
They want 7.5, but they will go for 7.
Okay. Yeah. If you want to shoot it over, I'll take a look at it, see what they can do.
Okay, I'll send it.
Cool. Thanks.
You, anything else?
Yeah, I got to jump on another call in about 2 minutes, but real quick, maybe I can get you guys advice. I have an offer out on a pretty significant apartment building in Texas right now that is through a very, very green agent. And I mean, this guy's had his license like a month, that level of new. So he's a residential agent kind of by trade. The person that is in his office is a residential agent by trade. And this building is, a few hundred units. It's a slam dunk. My client's all about it. But now the owner of the property is having some issues, like they can't get their financials. She basically ran it into the ground. So it's a perfect seller profile that we're going to come in and try to take it and then obviously clean it up and get it better. So here's where we're coming into issues. The owner, who's friends with the colleague of my contact, is starting to kind of potentially be like, oh, maybe I should talk to a commercial broker or this or that. And the contact within the office is, done a bunch of her residential deals. But I know if she goes with the JLL, CBREs, et cetera, this deal's gone. So we're trying to find out a better way to get this contract or some sort of dialogue that my contact can explain to, his colleague to be like, look, we can make this deal happen right now. The LOI is already submitted. We've already played the angle of, look, this is in your best interest as well, because if this goes to another broker, it's gone.
Mhm.
Any kind of tips or anything, I would love to hear.
What kind of what's the brokerage?
It's some mom and pop one. I've never even heard of it.
I mean, it couldn't hurt for maybe Austin and I to get on a quick call with you guys, just to like give them a sense of confidence, repeating a
Yeah.
lot of what you just said, to like say,
Yeah.
hey, you know.
Yeah,
You know,
we're definitely, trying to, I had my client and I called him this weekend, and we're kind of, trying to push him a little bit to understand that, like, this is a pretty significant sale. It would obviously be a game changer for him as well. Like,
Yeah.
look, this is gone. If you don't get this in front of the seller directly, this is a gone deal. And so
What's,
just
what
trying
kind of
to,
price? What's the LOI for how much?
like 32 million. So
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
pretty-
it's worth, like, I'm happy to jump on a call, and having
Yeah.
Austin, both of us would probably be helpful.
yeah.
And you know what else? JDS would be a great opportunity here.
So what's that?
JDS Real Estate, right? That's one of the services that we have access
Oh,
to.
yeah. I meant to ask you about who the contact there is. I can't remember the
I'll
name.
make sure you get, that's actually probably the best way, because again, they can do business in all 50 states. They are a third party. Financially, it's going to be great for you because they're just taking a flat fee on that, right? And they can run the whole listing side of that.
Okay.
And they are professional and they are commercial. And then you can also control it a little bit more at that point, right?
That's a
Okay,
great point.
that's
They could
that's
just-
a good idea.
You could pay them to take care of the
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
side, exactly, and
Absolutely.
right?
I'll get you that info soon, Hugh.
Okay.
Well,
Appreciate it.
who are there? You, try that first, I think, and see if that, and then if not, let me and Austin know, and I'm happy to do
Yeah.
whatever I can do.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we offered to even take care of all their financials free of charge, because we're gonna need them anyway,
Right.
just to help her get them all cleaned up, but we actually need to be able to get into her system and figure out where the receipts are and rent rolls, et cetera, but
Where in Texas?
it's outside of Austin.
Hey, maybe check the airfare, see how much it costs to get out there.
Oh, no, I was in Dallas this weekend. I was 2 seconds from driving down there just to walk into the office and be like, hey, we need to do this now, so.
Right, yeah.
And that speaks volumes, right? If you
Yeah.
show up on the seller's doorstep, obviously with a little bit of advance notice,
Yeah.
that will speak volumes and say, hey, we're real deal, and we're not here to mess around.
Yeah. So
Keep us posted, Austin, you'll get them the JDL.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
we'll do.
Hugh, if you need to scare them, just let me know when you're down there, and I'll get the military plane, and I'll come buzz them.
Done.
Tell them you don't sign this deal. We're coming for you, baby.
Exactly. Circle around in that little jet you flew the other day. Cool. All right. I gotta jump.
Thanks, you.
So I got something coming up. Still kind of, this is kind of different than most things, but a friend I grew up with, his dad has about $1.2 billion in retail properties around Houston and Texas. So I think he is looking to diversify. None of it's distressed or anything. I think he just wants to, he's probably got $600-700 million of his own money in a lot of these properties. And I think he wants to kind of spread it out against different things.
Mhm.
So I'm going to find out how much he wants to sell. I think it's going to be probably 75 to 80%.
Wow.
And I'm going to take it to some different people I know, but I'll definitely mention more on the call in the next couple of weeks when I get more information. So it'll be more of like probably a private equity deal or something like that. Somebody with significant capital that wants to buy up a portion of the portfolio. So we can kind of talk about it as it comes.
Sure. And Patrick, here's the next question. So what is he going to do with that money afterwards?
Well, my two friends who are his kids, both his sons I think he wants to kind of do some estate planning. I mean, he's already got everything he's ever wanted. He's got his own plane, got a house in Aspen. I mean, he's had that for decades now, but he's 58. I think he just wants to, spread it out. I reached out to them about the Airbnb deal and some other deals and stuff like that too. So maybe try to get him into SpaceX and just diversify a little bit. So.
Okay, great. Yeah, keep us posted on that.
Yeah, it's going to be a big one. So there's going to be a lot of different aspects to it too. So it'll be some good opportunities.
Awesome. Sounds like a plan. Thank you for sharing.
Sure.
All right, guys, we're at 12:34 right now. We had I think a great call, a lot of participation here, guys. Who else? Anybody else have anything last? Oh, yeah, Anna, please.
Hi, I was just patiently waiting for everybody else. How are you guys?
Great. How are you?
Good, thank you. So I just sent Kevin an email, but I wanted to just put it out there. I have a duplex buyer but they are open to a triplex and maybe a potentially also a fourplex. 1.6 is the sweet spot, but after doing some research, I sent them things up to 1.8. So it seems like they're open to that as well. Anything south of Santa Monica and north of Palos Verdes. So anything, and they want it owner occupied. If it's a triplex, fourplex, and one unit is rented out, that's fine. They just need 2 of the units because it's 3 people buying, a couple and a friend. So minimum 2 bedroom for one of the units, preferably 1.5, 2 baths. And the other one can be 1 bedroom, but if you have 2 that are 2 bedrooms, that's more preferable. So anything, whether it's on the market, I may have missed, or a pocket. So
Perfect, thanks. Anna, definitely put that on the kwbhvirtual.com spreadsheet, both on the residential side and on the commercial side for that matter.
okay, and that's through our Facebook page, right?
No, so visit literally kwbhvirtual.com.
Got it.
Upper right-hand corner, you'll see a link, helpful links, and then you'll see 2 spreadsheets with 2 different intake forms.
Awesome, thank you.
And where did you say locationally, you said?
So anything, so Santa Monica, they want to be west of the 405, but that Inglewood may work for them.
That's what I was gonna say. That's where.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, they don't mind being too far east of the they don't want to be too far east of the 405, so they prefer to be west of the 405. They like, the
Hello,
ocean.
this is Faye.
Yeah. Hey, you need to unmute, please.
Hi, thanks for calling.
We're on a roll today.
Hey, Alfredo, can you mute Faye?
Okay. That's okay. Just real quick.
There we go. Thank you.
Okay, perfect. So basically, north of Palos Verdes, south of Santa Monica.
West of the 405.
Yeah, west of the 405. If it's a little bit east, that's okay. Even if it's like a single family home with another home, or like an ADU with a 1 bedroom, like I sent them some of those options and they like them. So even that, I know you guys do like more units, but if it's anything like double or triplex, it's open to that. Or even a fourplex. I could probably sell them on a fourplex because that's still residential, and why not get help, paying their mortgage.
Perfect. Thank you, Anna.
So thank you.
All right, guys. Last call. Anybody else?
Yeah, I have a couple things. I got a new buyer today, big buyer for multifamily, 200 unit plus, basically anywhere in SoCal, no price minimum or maximum rather, 40,000 square feet minimum, looking for land or things that they can, just buy and, remanage. And then also I have a smaller buyer too right now we just submitted, I think, an offer last week, maybe it was the week before. Very similar criteria to Anna, except different locations. So a single family with an ADU up to 4 units in, he's looking mostly in West Adams, but is pretty open to other areas throughout LA. The property we offered on was on Laurel Canyon. So pretty wide range, mostly, east of the 405, but not like quite to downtown or quite to, Hollywood as well. But yeah, pretty flexible. So if you guys have any off markets or know of any pockets that are really big fixer opportunities, like huge fixer, almost tear down, that would be great. So yeah, let me know.
Appreciate that. Thank you, Ethan. Definitely also put that up on the KW Virtual.
I believe I have it on the residential, but I'll put it on the commercial as
Yeah,
well.
put it on the commercial too.
Thanks.
Anybody else? Okay, look, I'll just plug my need real quick. So I have a 6-unit building that never even hit the market. We're in escrow. So my client is now looking for an up leg. We've started the search. We've checked everything on CoStar, MLS, LoopNet. So looking for 5 to 10 units, preferably San Fernando Valley, Sherman Oaks, Tarzana, Encino, Studio, Valley Village. 2.5 million-ish is the price we're looking at. And obviously higher the cap, lower the GR, the better. if you have anything off market or coming soon, would love to get a preview of that. So keep me in mind for that, please. And I will take a spoonful of my own medicine and put it on the kwbhvirtual.com site as well.
And maybe Gaylin's thing, I mean, it's a little more, but hey.
Yeah, let's touch. Actually, Gaylin actually even reached out to me when I posted on social media the listing, but it got snagged up very quickly through another broker friend of mine that I've known for years. Yeah, we might be able to do something, Gaylin.
And Ethan just got his license.
Yeah. Austin, what cities in San Fernando Valley again?
Anything really in the southern San Fernando Valley. So let's go Woodland Hills, Tarzana, Encino, Sherman Oaks, Studio City. As far north, like Toluca, Valley Village, some parts of No Hope, some parts of Van Nuys.
So a pretty vast area.
Yeah, I mean, really, the whole southern portion of the San Fernando Valley and certain select parts of the northern part. So some parts of Northridge might work out. If you have something, Ben, please let me know.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
All right, guys. 12:41. Thank you so much, everybody, for being on this call. Great session today, guys. We'll see you next week. Have a killer week.
Thanks, Austin. Have a great day, guys. Make it happen.
Thanks,
Take
guys.
care.
See you, team. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.